is the Big O Show. This 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 is the Big O Show.
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
When you move, you need a reliable company led by passionate folks eager to assist its customers during a transitional process that needs to be smooth. Call Essential Moving Experts at 844-368-5750 for all your local and long-distance moving needs. You can rely on Essential Moving Experts. Mention the Big O Radio Show and get $150 off. Family owned and operated. They offer free 30-day storage, full service moving, fully licensed, bonded, and insured. Moving was never so easy. EssentialMovingExperts.com.
Oh, great. You got a doorbell camera. Now you got a front row seat to your house getting robbed.
No.
And there's nothing you can do about it.
Get out of my house!
Ooh, Mom's jewelry. There goes the TV. I'm sure it'll turn up at the pawn shop.
No!
Just because you can see them, that doesn't mean you can stop them. With Sloan's, you get 24-hour monitoring, a free home security system, and professional installation. Plus, a free doorbell camera.
Free?
One that'll actually work for you. It's not total security unless it's the Sloan Shield. Call 1-800-ALARM-ME.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
With more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes, Welton Rayom is committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. They handle complex personal injury claims caused by the fault of another in both state and federal courts. They handle auto, trucking, motorcycle, slip and fall, and bicycle accidents. Call 954-966-4646. That's 954-966-4646. Welton Rayom can help.
For over 16 years, EJDConstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDConstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDConstruction.com.
The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc., ownership, management, sponsors, or website. It's time for Dolphins football. Welcome to the EJDConstruction.com Miami Dolphins pregame show on the Sports Talk 305 network. The show is mastered by Sean Stanley and Chad Shobe. EJDConstruction.com is a fully insured liability and workers' comp. Call Eric if you need a custom home builder or general contractor. 305-433-4843. Here's your host, the Big O.
Alrighty. It's game time. It is Sunday. We are 2 hours away from kickoff. We know exactly where the storyline, which I don't really understand why everybody was so worried about this storyline and, oh, we want this team to win and that team to win and all of that kind of stuff. And folks, you know, in the end, it's about the challenge of finally getting over this hurdle. And it's not about the easy way out or whatever it is. None of it is easy for the Miami Dolphins, as you've noticed for decades now. So in the end, really, the periphery does not matter. You know, we'll get into it a little bit more on the show, but I just kind of find it funny and humorous that we're so worried about other games when, man, you just should worry about the team in aqua and orange. And that's the team that's got to start proving that they can win these kind of games. And they got to win in order for you to win the Super Bowl. Okay, just follow me on this. Whether you get a bye week or you don't, you will play the best of the best that's left all the way to the end. So you're going to have to win 3 or 4 games in order to win the Super Bowl, right? Maybe if you're playing in the first round, you're not playing the hardest of opponents because wild card weekend, you have some teams like the Pittsburgh Steelers that really don't belong in the in the playoffs, but that's all over the NFL. And the Dolphins have been that team very many times in the past that they barely got into the playoffs and they really didn't belong in there. But that's because they allow so many damn teams. So who cares if you have to play Buffalo twice? Or you got to play Buffalo this week and Kansas City next week, or if there's some crazy ass tie that you're playing Pittsburgh next week, and then whatever, man. You're still going to have to prove, which is the reason why we're all nervous as hell about tonight, because our football team never proves that, they belong. Unfortunately, that's kind of been the case, And that's what we're all waiting for right now. We're all waiting for the moment that Miami crosses that threshold where they become a really good franchise and they're not worried about somebody's help and those kind of silly things that I've been hearing here in the last 48 hours. Anyway, so let's just get it done. You know what I'm saying? I see Brian Walters, right? Is that first in? All right. I don't normally do roll call, but no, it's actually Joseph I see here on the real chat board in there. So appreciate all of you out there. As always, Gus 1388, you didn't waste any time already with a super chat, and Sean and I thank you. We win tonight. We face the Bills again. We tie. We win the division, but face the Steelers. The Bills go to Casey. Yeah. I know all these scenarios, and I don't really give a shit about them. Don't really give a shit about them. I really don't care about these scenarios. You know what I care about? Winning today. You don't win today, well, then I'm not happy. That's it. And then next week, if you don't win in the playoffs, then I'm really not happy. And I'm incredibly unsatisfied. I don't care if you played Piper High or Hialeah High or you played the Buffalo Bills. Don't care. None of it. Doesn't matter to me whatsoever. Win. Start winning these kind of games often. Okay? It's what I told you about all year about the Bills. You got to start beating the Bills often. Not once every 10 times you play them. Vinny Lenya, thank you, sir. Remember, you can make a donation also through Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. And you can always make a Bitcoin donation, which right before the ETFs get approved this week, it's a good time to make a Bitcoin donation before it explodes completely. So make a Bitcoin donation on Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show, or an Ethereum. Actually, nobody's ever donated Ethereum. That's strange, but we love Ethereum and we certainly love Bitcoin. No Bitcoin hat. We retired it. We brought back the classic. So what can I tell you? See, brought back the classic. I love this hat. I haven't worn this one in a while. It's got the logo on the side, as you can see. Right? There you go. And then inside, it's actually a really groovy hat. Very well taken care of because I only wear it inside. I don't take it outside anywhere. Never want to sweat this one up. I'd love to find this one again. Haven't been able to find it. But anyway, so we brought out a classic that we haven't worn in a while out of our collection. Okay, let's see, Vinny Lenya. No easy way to win a chip. Have to take care of business. Amen to that. Amen to that. There's no, dicking around. Oh, well, let's win here. Let's lose there. You got some dumbasses. Well, no, let's lose tonight so we could go to Kansas City and we don't have to play Buffalo twice. The most satisfactory thing in the world outside of sex would be to beat Buffalo 2 times in a row. I don't know about you, but it's just I guess we've developed these soft ass Dolphin fans over the years. And maybe that's why our team doesn't get across the finish line. So they got to learn. They got to learn. Oh man, let's see. Hateful Steve, is that Steve? Who sent that in there? Let me see. We got a little Bitcoin donation. Steve, thank you, sir. Little Bitcoin donation on Cash App or Venmo, Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show for doing all these pre and post game shows. Thank you, sir. We appreciate you. Thank you. Big night tonight, man. Big night tonight, and they got to find a way to get it done one way or another. And, I know that a lot of the narrative is Tua's got to step up, which is true. He's got to step up, of course. Offensive line, defense, Vic Fangio has got to step up. Tyreek, obviously, right? No Waddle. Got to step up. Chan, Wilson. No Mostert, they got to step up. Kohu, who's been absolutely mediocre this year, and I love Cater. I'm a big Cater fan, but young players go through their ups and downs. And, he's gone through a rough one. I don't expect Eli to, I'm just hoping he has a good night tonight because he'll never be a good player. You know what I mean? With Kohu, I'm very hopeful still he can be a good player because he's shown us a lot of tangibles that show that he clearly has it to be one of those guys, but he hasn't happened for him. So we understand that, but there's a lot of people that've got to step up, right? And there's a scene. I like using it every once in a while because it just comes, it just happens. It's perfect. And there's a scene in New Jack City where Ice-T is talking to Chris Rock, who's Pookie, the drug addict, the crack addict, who, wants to help the police out because obviously Ice-T helped him straighten out his life and he wants some purpose and all that stuff. If I've ruined this for you after 30-something years of the movie, I am sorry about that. But anyway, so there's a moment where Mario Peebles is trying to approve Chris Rock going undercover for the cops, right? And so at that moment, they walk away and all that, and it's just Ice-T and Chris Rock. And he says, no, I can do this. He goes, hey, Pook, you better because you owe a lot. You owe, Pook. And it's like you owe because people have invested in you and straighten out your life, and you owe, right? And obviously, and all that kind of stuff. And, you owe, like you should be a part of society and be productive, and I'm putting my ass on the line for you and all that kind of stuff. Well, it's not the best analogies in the world, but I'm going to say that Ice-T needs to be Chris Greer and Pookie is Mike McDaniel. And Mike McDaniel is the guy that, as I've already kind of predicted here in the last week, okay, Mike McDaniel is the guy that is going to put himself on a hot seat over the next year if he continues to fail in these situations. Because in the end, we could talk about players not coming through this, that, whatever. The guy that has not created the environment for them to actually fully succeed is Mike McDaniel. Okay? I can point at Tyreek's drop. I can point at Tua's interception. I can point at missed tackles and Kohu's fouls and Jalen Ramsey 2 weeks ago getting burned for what could have been the game-winning touchdown. I can point at individual failures this, there, and everywhere, right? But where I cannot point at ever, and it has to be rare, it cannot be the coach. How many times do you say Eric Spoelstra really effed up this game today? He didn't help his players out today. Like never? Like rarely ever? Do you say that about Eric Spoelstra? You didn't say that about Shula. You don't say that about the great coaches. Because more often than not, their wisdom is what leads to great decisions and put people in positions. You don't put Jeff Wilson to be a receiver in traffic. That's stupid. You don't hurry up a play right before the 2-minute warning when you're on the plus side of the field and you've got, what are you hurrying up for, dude? And you rushed it and you ended up going into a turnover, which was a key moment where you could have driven for 7 points and it changes the complexion of the game. But your ineptitude as a game manager is constantly in the way of the team's production. You don't win any challenges, so you're constantly losing timeouts. You know, you've got to get better at your game day decisions. You've got to get better at putting people in positions to be successful. Calling plays and forcing your quarterback to go to Tyreek when he's double and triple covered does not make any sense. And obviously, there is no discipline when it comes to that because they continue to do it to Waddle or to Tyreek. And in the film room, it's not corrected. It's actually encouraged. And I'm sorry, but math says if there's 2 or 3 people around Waddle or Tyreek, when one of them is only on the field, or when both are on the field, that means somebody else is open. That means somebody is wide open. Okay? And we've seen it where you're forcing it and there's someone else there. And that's because habitually you have created an atmosphere that is not conducive to keeping the football because you're asking your quarterback to make really difficult throws all the time, like a fade to a midget wide receiver. I love Tyreek. Fades are not what you're doing with him. Okay? I know he's a fabulous player. Fades are not the play. So you've got to become a better game manager. So you guys can point individually at whoever you want, and I'm sure Tua's number one out there and all that bullshit, but you don't help Tua and you don't help Tyreek by going after 2,000 yards and putting that wear and tear on him because look how he is going into this game. He's all beaten up. He's playing on one leg. The guy's in a boot in his off time. He was in the fire at his house watching the fire with a boot. When you watch Hard Knocks from, all the film from last week, Achan was in a boot leading up to that game. You think he's really 100% healthy right now? No. Mostert didn't practice all week. Let me also, I want to I think we need to enlighten people here about something, about the media, okay? Because, I got it from friends of mine on Friday and Saturday and, oh, hey, wow, Waddle practice. Oh, Mostert, this, that. And I want you all to know this, okay? I want you all to know this, okay? The media, every single one of them, radio, TV, writers, they don't know dick about practice. They go out there for the first 15 minutes or 20 minutes of stretching. They don't know shit. So whenever if a beat writer or anybody else has the balls to say, I watch practice, you didn't watch anything, dude. You watch 15 minutes of stretch, dude or dudette. If it's a man or a woman, so let's be fair and let's include the women here because we've got women that go to practice too. If any of them tell you they know they practice, they're full of shit. Because Waddle didn't practice. He just put on a little show for the media. So then they would write it or they would post it on their X or their Instagram. And then you guys have this false sense of security. Because I got it from several people over the last couple of days. Oh, they're improved. No, they're not, dude. They're not. Mostert has not practiced all week. I told several people now he's not playing. Haven't heard from one of them. Because, of course, I'm the sourpuss. I'm the guy giving you the honesty instead. You want to lie to yourself? Go ahead and lie to yourself. Okay? Waddle, been injured. What? Did you think he was going to play this week with a high ankle sprain? Tyreek's been walking around on one foot. I got to tell you something. Tyreek is one tough sumbitch because he barely was able to get up last week on one play where he had to kind of position himself right to get up. Remember that? Well, why do you think he does that? Because the other leg is toast. It's walking around in a boot. And then here comes Holland off 2 knees, And he's completely lost last week. He's not himself. I love it. I got a buddy of mine. Oh, well, Baker and Hunt's coming back. I go, dude, they haven't played for a month. They haven't played for a month. You expect Jerome Baker to come back, and it's not like he's a dominant linebacker in the first place. Well, you expect him to be magical. You expect Hunt not to miss a beat. Did you watch Holland after he was out a month? I was trying to explain my friend that. I go, this team is beaten up. It is bad. This is going to take the greatest coaching job of Mike McDaniel's short career to win this game. Okay? To win this game is like watching Spo beat the Warriors with the 31-10 team in the second half of the season. How do you like them apples? So I don't know if I've never seen any Spo in Mike McDaniel. I've never seen any Jim Larinaga in Mike McDaniel. I've never seen any kind of Don Shula in Mike McDaniel. Does he have it? Does he have it in him to find a way to overcome? And, hey, bro, you got to play with Doug Peterson. We'll win. Hey, Michael is coming to town, and you've got 8 guys. Don't worry about it. Rex Chapman's going to have the game of his life. So that's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see, because this team, it is as beaten up, and it's going to take great and impeccable coaching tonight. Tonight, you cannot make mistakes on the sidelines. The mistakes you make on the sidelines are going to magnify how much harder you're going to make it on your team to actually be able to win. So this is one of those games that we're going to find out a lot about Mike McDaniel. A lot. It's going to tell us a lot. And then the following week in the playoffs, it's going to tell us a lot how his team responds that following week. True Fin fan, thank you, sir. Spitting out facts as usual, big man. Thank you, thank you. I'm getting ready for the game by watching O Yeller. They're putting somebody out to pasture, huh? Can Tyreek return one punt as a surprise? Why not? And Tyreek already has wear and tear because he was going after the silly 2,000 yards. And you also want him punt returning too with 1 foot. So you sure you want to lose him for next year? The Bills have the same O-line all year. Yeah, 4% of their backups have played, like 47% for Miami. It's not even close to. Thomas says, got my wife picking up booze for me. Something tells me I'm going to need it. Oh, let's see. Jermaine says, tired of watching this team get embarrassed. Let's hope it doesn't happen today, man. Dolphin Dumpy, thank you for the love. I appreciate the super chat. Thank you, sir. Will they be able to get out of the huddle with more than 5 seconds left before the call? These are the things that McDaniel has to overcome. And he cannot continue to be a screw-up on the sidelines. He's got a fabulous mind, but, man, he leaves some other stuff to be desired. Steve M., thank you, sir, again for the love on Venmo, Cash App or Venmo, Cash Big O Show. Nothing for nothing, but these games that no one expects Miami to win are the games they usually win, LOL. This is how they've kept stringing people like me along all these years. What am I going to do, argue when you're right? Can't argue that one, Steve. You are right. And I hope so, because I can't tell you that I am in this game with, a lot of confidence. I have no confidence in this game. I've told you guys, I've picked the Dolphins every week. Every week. So what am I, 11-5, right? No? 11-5. So I've picked the Dolphins every week. every single week. This is the only week where I'm not picking them. You know what I mean? Unfortunately. So what can I tell you? I'm one of those guys that it's really more about McDaniel right now. I over the next year from now to the end of next season, I need to see incredible improvement on game management. Either that or you get somebody else. Either you get an OC and then you manage the game, or you figure it out and do both and do them at an incredibly high level. You know, you got to win no less than 50 or 60% of your challenges. No less. You can't even win freaking 10% of your challenges. That's pathetic. You know, and so there's got to be a lot of improvement in that area for me over the next year, because it's just you can't advance this way. You know, I remember Jerry Glanville, and he brought a lot of excitement to the game. He brought an open element with the spread and all those kind of things, but he did a lot of wacky shit. And there was a lot of crazy decisions in the games at times. It was fun. He was entertaining. The press conferences were top notch, you know, kind of like McDaniel, top notch, different kind of press conference from Jerry Glanville than Mike McDaniel, but both very entertaining. And with his spread offense that he brought in and all that, the gun or whatever it was called, it was fun. It was fun. But there was a lot of irresponsibility along the way. And so it would take away from the productivity. And that's kind of what I see with McDaniel a little Jerry Glanville, in the sense that, yeah, you're bringing a lot of excitement, but then on the fundamental side, you're not fundamentally sound. And then you're making all kinds of crazy decisions. You know, and that's where you gotta get better. So it's all kinds of stuff, and you gotta it was the run and shoot. Exactly. Well, the Bills had the K gun, they had the run and shoot. The Mouse Davis had what was his run and shoot also? Mouse Davis? Or what, did he have like another name for it too, you know? But they're all air raid now and all. It's all, they're all kind of, these are all things that Sid Gilman and others did, and they're just kind of taking stuff from that and then adding it to what they do, and, you know, all that stuff. Run and gun, fun and gun was the Gators with Spurrier. That was fun and gun. I remember that. Can you do that nowadays? Are you politically correct if you can call it fun and gun? Marcus says, hear me out, Big O. You are the absolute man. Gonna miss you in the off season. Why, are you leaving or something? You're not coming back to the show or something? You just disappear? That's you know we go every day, right? You know, we'll cover the draft, and we'll cover free agency, Marcus, it doesn't end like when the season ends, right? You do know that. I'm not sure, maybe you're new to this and you think it's just like during the football season or something, but it's actually a full-fledged talk show. We get to talk about everything, and we make you money in crypto. Not a financial advisor. Not a financial advisor. Anyway. This is statement time. Win back-to-back games at home against Buffalo. Time to put up or shut up. Yeah. And that's unfortunately that's where we're at now. You got to stop screwing around with these games. You got to start winning these games. Yeah, the whole, the other thing I heard this past, well, we got to have patience. How much longer? 4, 5, 6 years? What are you waiting for? Because next year it's year 3. And who's to say that? Can anybody say that next year he won't do all the same things he's done the last 2 years? Because he's repeated over and over again. Nobody can say that. You know? And that's the screwed up part. Vinny Leña, thank you, sir, for the love in the super chat. I don't know how to feel about McDaniel. He has shown willingness to adjust, like running the ball more, but still abandons it consistently this year, but also has shown stubbornness and lack of in-game adjustments. And he still has abandoned the running game at times. So that's the thing. I credit 4 factors to Miami win for not get out coached. Stick to the run. Do not beat yourself. The defense must stay disciplined and keep Allen from running. That would be nice. And today is a great day to run the hell out of the football. Ariel Saravia says our Super Bowl run starts now. We beat the Bills twice, beat the Chiefs at home, beat the Ravens away, and win the Super Bowl against San Fran. My God, that would be the greatest year of Dolphin history outside of the 70s with the perfect season. It would be the second greatest season of all time. Put it that way. If they're able to overcome all that you just said there, Vinny, second greatest season next to the undefeated season. La Cocina de Jose says, great show, Big O, as always, watching from Puerto Rico. Let's be tough tonight. I got a couple of friends of mine that live in Puerto Rico. They moved there from here. They love it there, bro. They love it there. There's pluses and minuses and all that. I always tell them, but what about the infrastructure? And he goes, yeah, well, it's not perfect, but we have a blast here, he tells me. Yes, sir, Sean.
Inactives are out.
Let's get to the inactives.
All right, we've got tight end Tyler Kroft, tackle Keon Smith, cornerback Ethan Bonner, running back Raheem Mostert, cornerback Xavier Howard, wide receiver Jalen Waddle, and your emergency quarterback Skylar Thompson.
All right, no surprises at all, pretty much, except for Ethan Bonner, right? Because, all of you have been waiting for him to come out and shut down everybody. I don't know how many times I've been asked on DMs, hey, so what do you think about this Ethan Bonner guy? And I'm like, nothing. What the hell am I supposed to think? What, that he runs fast? Okay, that doesn't mean he's a good football player. I have no idea. You know what I'm saying? No clue. No clue. Mateo, thank you for the love in the super chat, my friend. Actually, it disappeared. There was a super chat there from Mateo, and it disappeared. Bonner got activated, should get a lot of snaps. Well, actually, that's why it disappeared, because you heard the inactives. All right. Well, thank you, my brother. True Fin fan, zero faith in Fangio, losing faith in McDaniel. Well, I'm not losing faith in McDaniel yet. I need to see another year, and I need to see some improvement as a game manager. And then at the end of next year, we'll start talking about, is this the right guy or not? Todd says, fins up. Next year, McDaniel must figure out home versus away operational issues. It's unacceptable that players are saying they have issues with communication on the road, and that's why they are not better. That's why they are better at home. Well, that's poor coaching. That's all. So, poor coaching. Yes, sir. You got some there?
Yeah, I have to turn the mic on. Bills inactives.
Okay.
Defensive tackle Linval Joseph, tackle Alec Anderson, defensive end Kingsley Jonathan, running back Latavius Murray, cornerback Khair Elam, and safety DeMar Hamlin.
Okay. All right. Big O Eddie here. Would you blitz Josh Allen 70% and live with the consequences? I don't know about 70%. That's a lot of blitzing, bro. That's even more than Josh Boyer does. I would blitz him. I would have blitzed Lamar Jackson a lot last week. I would not have let him sit back there. I would have taken my chances with him overall. That way you get him out in the open field, and yeah, he might fake you out a bunch of times, but you also might get some hits on his ass and put him out, because that's why he's kind of stayed even healthier this year, because he's actually tried to stay in the pocket as much as possible. Mateo, thank you for the super chat, sir. Any given Sunday, Giants killing the Eagles. What's going on with the Eagles, dude? Wow. Since Boza said we figured this guy out and we put it on tape, they have not, that offense hasn't been lighting up anything whatsoever. So that's kind of impressive what's been going on there, dude. Wow. That's crazy stuff. Let's see. On the contrary, I drop 8 and make them be patient. No, you got to mix it up. You got to get after Allen. You got to keep them guessing, and you've got to hit them. You need to hit quarterbacks, all of them. I don't care if it's Tom Brady. I don't care if it's Johnny Unitas. I don't care if it's Lamar Jackson. I don't care who it is. You need to show some presence with a quarterback. You've got to make him uncomfortable. If they're not sacks, then you need hits. And if they're not hits, you need hurries. But you need to create havoc around him, so he knows that he doesn't have enough time. So he knows that he has to have his head on a swivel, because you don't know where you're sending somebody. So I understand what you're saying. Force him into a mistake. But at the same time, if you leave him back there and you flood it with 8 and you're rushing 3, he's going to be able to stand back there and do whatever the hell he wants. Oh, and by the way, he'll end up running and picking up easy yardage too along the way. True Fin fan, thank you. Drop 8 like we did against the Titans. Huh? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, you got to mix it up. Fangio actually was honest the other day when he said those same exact words, that you got to mix it up, and he's not lying. That's really what you should do. I'm honestly not even thinking about next week. Playoff start. Yeah, of course. I don't care about next week. I don't care who they play. I don't care how it works out. All I care about is I need you to start beating the Buffalo Bills on a consistent basis. So let's go. When are you going to start beating them on a consistent basis? They beat you all the time. They own your ass on a consistent basis. Sean McDermott, I believe, is 12-2 since he's been the Bills coach, or something stupid like that. I may be off by a game, but the man is 12-2. When are you going to start doing that? That's my question for the Dolphins, for Mike McDaniel. I don't care about just winning tonight against the Bills. No. I need you to beat the Bills often. That's how you cross the threshold. Not beating them once every 8 or 9 times you face them. That's not the ratio I'm looking for. I'm going to show you something hilarious in a minute, because it shows, the generational gap sometimes with people. Alan Doyle, thank you for the love, sir, on the super chat. Bills didn't look that great in the past 2 weeks. The best step up in games like this, Ramsey and Hill, your time is now. You're right, Alan. I can't argue with that. But are you going to say that Josh Allen and the Bills don't get up for the Dolphins? Doesn't matter how they're playing, right? And that's my problem. This team loves to play against the Dolphins. They get up for this game. That's why those fans are so cocky for the Bills, because they've watched their team own the Dolphins. Mateo, thank you, sir. Blitz Cater, he has 4 sacks. You should blitz him some. He's one of your physical corners, and he's a good tackler. So it's a great call on your part. Guerrera, 27. I'm tired of the same old broken heart. We all are, my friend. We all are. You're not the only one, dude. We're all hurting. We all are tired of watching the Dolphins fail in this moment, and we're all tired of not watching them, watching them fail every single time trying to get over the hump. So you are correct. We're all in the same boat. No doubt about that. Let me show you something that I think is kind of funny. Let me see something here. Just want to look at something here. Okay. All right. Anyway, this is hilarious. Okay. And this shows you the generational gap or somebody trying to be slick and leaving all the facts out. Okay. So this is I think it's Regulators Pod. It came up on my timeline. I don't necessarily follow them or anything, but they put out a picture, as you see there, all right, of Jay Cutler and Adam Gase, right? And then under, they've got Mike McDaniel and Tua and Tyreek, right? And then he puts out, some of these Dolphin fans really forgot where they came from. Half of you all have never had it this good. First of all these people that are in this picture, okay, they haven't done anything yet in Dolphin history that matters. And Miami Dolphins came from a guy named Don Shula, okay, and Larry Zonka and Bob Greasy, okay? That's who they came from, and Larry Little, right? Okay, that's where they came from. For 30 years, led by him, with Marino and Webb and Sims and Woodley and Strock. And even though Woodley's not a great quarterback or anything like that, but those two guys got to a Super Bowl. They accomplished something. So let's get this shit straight, okay? We had it great. We've always had it great. There was a standard that was set, and Jay Cutler and Adam Gase can't meet it. And so far, Mike McDaniel has not met it either. Let's get that shit straight. All right? This is a tweet from somebody that's too young to not really know the history, or somebody trying to, go for clicks. And look, we give them a little free pub. They get their little free pub, but they're going to get called out for weak bullshit like that. Okay, the standard was set, and nobody's come close to meeting it or matching it. Not Jimmy Johnson and not Mike McDaniel. Now, Mike McDaniel, the book hasn't been written yet, right? We haven't finished. We're only a couple of chapters in. We got plenty of time for Mike McDaniel to make history. Okay, but let's cut the bullshit. What's going on is still not good enough. It's entertaining. It's fun. Like I put in that tweet, you think the Heat is all about winning a couple of games, or do you think it's about winning the chip? I think it's about winning the chip. It's about winning in the playoffs. Tyreek can have 2,000 yards and Ricky can have 1,800 yards. It don't mean shit to me, dude. What are you doing in the playoffs? So this is entertaining, but we don't have it good yet. You know when we have it good? When we're the Florida Panthers fans. Florida Panthers got it good, not the Miami Dolphins. The Heat, of course, we know that they are the gold standard. But let me explain something about the Panthers. They've been to the playoffs now 5 straight years. Have the Dolphins? They just went to the Stanley Cup. Have the Dolphins? They actually win series and games in the playoffs. Do the Dolphins? So, this weak-ass bullshit tweets that some of you put out there, this is entertaining. Okay? Thanks, Jerry Glanville. It's entertaining. Wow, you brought some excitement. Can you win? That's the next step now for Mike McDaniel. He can entertain. Can he win? Can he win meaningful games? That's what I need to know. So for, whatever the hell the name of that, what is it, regulation or righteous pod or whatever the hell it's called, whatever where it came from was a hell of a lot of a higher standard than anything's been set this year. Okay? Please. It's nice. It's not good enough. It's nice, but it's not good enough. All right? You don't have no wins in the playoffs. I have no use for you. That's just the bottom line. If you can't win in the playoffs, I have no use for you. Discard. So we now know what we need to do. So let's get it done. Starts tonight. True Fin fan, thank you for the love in the super chat. Bills will lose the Giants and beat us by 35. Yeah, exactly. Bills, yes, exactly. They'll lose the Giants and then beat us by 30. Yeah, exactly. Louis M. says, I'm expecting another Fangio masterclass. The highest paid coordinator in the NFL has been an absolute joke. However, the haters will still find a way to blame Tua like last week. Yeah, I know. Blaming Tua for last week is about as ridiculous as it gets. Wilkins, Alan Williams says, thank you. And by the way, Alan, thank you for the super chat. And if I didn't mention Louis M., thank you, sir, for the super chat. Wilkins, 12 tackles, 0 sacks against winning teams. $25 million a year for that. Great job in a game that it didn't matter. Yes. Yes. He doesn't get any sacks against Wilkins. I already told you this a couple of weeks ago. If he doesn't get sacks in these kind of games, you're not signing him. Sealer gets sacks in these kind of games. He did it last week. He does his job for half the money that Wilkins wants. So, you got to go with bargains, bro. Like last week when we told you to pounce on Neutron at 96, 97, 98, 99 cents. Now it's at $1.50. Within days, you made 50% on your investment. You're welcome out there, by the way. You're all welcome out there. 50% instant returns. Not a financial advisor. Just happen to be a guy that kicks some serious freaking ass. I wish the Dolphins kicked half the ass I kick in crypto. Just half. I just need them to be half as good as I am in crypto, and it's title after title after title after title. It's not one title. It's not one, not two, not three, not four. No. We put LeBron James to shame. Just half as good as we are in crypto. That's all I want. Just want the Panthers to be half as good as we are on this show on crypto. So, let's see. No, the playoffs do not start tonight. They start next week. Winning means actually we get to lose a game that actually counts. No, if you don't win this week, what makes you think you're winning next week? You're 2-3 to finish out the season. So what makes you think you're going to win next week? That's the dumbest thing any Dolphin fan can think. That beating the Bills this week will make it harder to beat the Bills next week. What makes you even think you're beating the Bills today? And what makes you think you're going to win against the Bills next week? And what makes you think you can go to Kansas City and win? Like, I love how you got this thinking of something you've never earned. Let's go Top Gun. Son, your body's writing checks. No, what is it? Your ego's writing checks your body can't cash. You got to be the most arrogant and ignorant Dolphin fan in the world to think, well, no, we got to lose this week and then we'll win next week. Who the hell are you, dude? How stupid are you? If you don't win, what makes you think you're going to win next week? You think you're like the 70s team or something? You can just turn the shit on? You think you're the mid-90s Cowboys? You just go turn the shit on? I love that. No, we should lose this week so we can win next week. What kind of morons are you? There's a good chance, I just want you to know, you lose tonight, you're getting your ass kicked even worse the following week. I just want you to know that. Okay? It ain't going to get better. You're 2-3. You continue to lose to all the key teams. You have all kinds of injuries. Your confidence has got to be shot to shit. And there's Joe fans saying, no, we'll lose this week, but we'll win next week. I mean, what a Class A dumbass you are. Win this week so you can win the division. That's progress. Do something, bro. Did I not just talk about accomplishing something for once in your goddamn lives? Because the Dolphins have accomplished nothing for 25 years. Nothing. At least Marino got to a Super Bowl. At least Woodstruck got to a Super Bowl. And in the 70s, they won the Super Bowl. Nowadays, these guys can't win shit, dude. And you're going to sit here thinking you're picking and choosing when they're going to win? What a dumbass you are. Lay it all on the line tonight, leave everything out there, and then you worry about next week when next week rolls around. You don't have time to add another embarrassment to then overcome another embarrassment for next week. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. And ignorant as hell, too. That kind of thinking, there's a reason why we have all the stupid things that we have going on and conspiracy theories. That's right there. That kind of thinking shows the kind of ignorance we have in this country. Because there's a lot of dumbasses walking around in this country. Holy shit. Think about, no, we'll lose this week and then we'll win next week. Yeah, because we do that all the time. You know? Oh, man. Anyway, Dolphins can't turn on lights. Shit. You have to go when you have to. Exactly. Yeah. You sound like the dad of the Breakfast Club character. Good morning for nothing. Worthless. Exactly. That's it. Yeah. Well, what's gone on is worthless. Until you start winning in the playoffs, none of this means crap to me, dude. It's all entertainment. It's fun, but there's no substance behind it. What did we used to say about the Panthers? The few times, just like the Dolphins, the Panthers and the Dolphins were the same organization. I don't know how many of you follow the Panthers and the Dolphins. I know there's a lot of you that are watching all over the country, all over the world, and you're maybe not completely a South Florida sports fan. But before we got Viola and Sifu, real owners, okay? Prior to that, the Panthers would make the playoffs every, 7, 8, 9, 10 years, like the Dolphins, right? 01, 08, 16, same bullshit. And what would happen? what would happen? A foot right in the ass and kicked right out the door. No different. We treat the Panthers the same we treat the Miami Dolphins. Nice regular season. Okay, good. It's entertaining. All right, where's the substance behind it? Where are you? What are you doing? And that's the problem right now. Got to get it done. Salty O is extra crispy tonight. Yeah, I mean, we got to cut the bullshit out, man. We got to cut the bullshit out. I want them to win badly. I'm going to be sitting there praying. Brother, I change hats. I'll be sitting in a different chair. I'm going to try anything and everything possible to change my routine for tonight, okay? Not that I have any confidence in this game, but I am praying for the best because I don't want to do another losing post-game show. It's not fun, dude. Unlike most of the media in town that doesn't give a shit about the teams, okay? Because they really are not, because they're not from here. I'm born and raised here, man. And the first thing I ever knew was Miami Dolphins football since I was a child. Born the same year the Dolphins came to life, 66. So I've grown up with this team since I was a kid. It means everything to me. I do not look forward to doing another bad post-game show where it's just another ugly-ass loss. And I'm tired of feeling like this, to be quite honest. I need to get back that Shula feeling, that Heat feeling I have, that Panthers feeling I have now. Right? I mean, the Florida Panthers are a much better organization than the Miami Dolphins by miles. It's the Heat way ahead of everybody, and then the Panthers are second, right? And look out, here comes Inter Miami now. Look out. So, number one in popularity will always be the Dolphins, because this will always be a Dolphins town. But in actual accomplishments right now, they're behind. So let's go. Let's pick it up, man. Let's get it done. That's what we got to do. By the way, speaking of the Panthers, last night, 8-4 over the Avalanche. Sean, let's give the Panthers what they deserve, right? A victory cigar, man, from Perdomo Cigars. There we go. That's what I like to see. Well-deserved victory cigar for our Florida Panthers, man. 8-4 over the Avalanche. Barkov with 4 assists yesterday. Reinhart with the hat trick, dude. He's got 28 goals and 22 assists. He is a Cutter's Edge MVP of the night, man. Kachuk with a goal and 3 assists. Verhaeghe had 2 goals and assists. Bob, only 22 saves. So he wasn't sitting back there getting peppered. Tuesday, they're at St. Louis, man. So impressed with the Panthers. God, that is really impressive. All right, folks, we got 1 hour down as we get you ready for the Dolphins and the Bills. Sean Stanley is the man, the myth, the legend that puts it all together. We're going to take a quick break here. Let me rest the voice because obviously we've gone for an hour straight. No breaks. Okay, we give you an hour straight of content. You know, we're not taking like 8-minute commercial breaks every 10 minutes like you would listen in other places. We give you an hour straight of content. Give me a couple minutes here, rest the voice. Hour number 2 will get you ready. I got a couple things I want to talk about overall with the team. Brutal honesty, obviously, and some of the mental aspect of all of this too that I think we haven't really approached also in this game. It's going to be a tough one, man. Bills are favored by 3. The over and under's 48. Bills minus 162 on the money line. The Dolphins are plus 136. Hour number 2 of the EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins pregame show on the Sports Talk 305 network.
You're listening to Miami Dolphins coverage on the Sports Talk 305 network, brought to you by EJDconstruction.com. This is the Miami Dolphins pregame show with Orlando Alzugari.
Oh, great. You have a doorbell camera. Now you have a front row seat to your house getting robbed.
They're breaking into my house!
Ooh, there goes the TV. I'm sure it'll turn up at the pawn shop.
No, not the TV!
Just because you can see them, that doesn't mean you can stop them. With Slogans, you get 24-hour monitoring, a free home security system, and professional installation. Plus, free doorbell camera, one that'll actually work for you.
Get out of my house! Get out of the house!
Call 1-800-ALARM-ME.
Welton Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They're committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. Property damage claims to your home, business, or condo as a result of a hurricane. Welton Rayom can help. Water, mold, fire, smoke damage, Welton Rayom can help. Call 954-966-4646.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyAccess.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. Welcome back to the best coverage of Miami Dolphins football on any platform. This is the EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins pregame show on the Sports Talk 305 network. Here's your host, Orlando Alzugari.
It was right there. Tucked by Loa, intercepted.
We just got our ass whooped. That's a fact. That's a fact. But that's cool. Get it back. Get it back. Get it back. Tell Tua. Get it back. Tell Cheetah. Get it back. Tell Raheem. Get it back. Tell the team. Get it back. Now we got Buffalo up. That's a fact. That's a fact. But you can tell they fans. It's a rap. It's a rap. Tell Waddle. Get it back. Tell McDaniel. Get it back. For Chubbs and Phillips. Get it back. DWA. Let's get it back. Fresh up out the loft, no, I don't wanna talk about it. Shout out to Lamar, though, the crib gotta talk about it. Buffalo coming, ain't no question, make a target out of them. Cook the players like some wings, we gon' make some sauce out of them. Playoff time, but we ain't tryna play with y'all. They say we fraudulent, but we gon' make them say they frauds. Defense hungry, so they offense gotta take a charge. Zach Steeler got Allen on the radar. Christian Wilkins hunting with him, call him salt and pepper. Defense hit squad, pushing hard together. Got Ogba off the edge, so you best believe we gon' lead that game with the second seed. We just got our ass whooped, that's a fact, that's a fact. But that's cool, get it back, get it back, get it back. Tell Tua, get it back, tell Cheetah, get it back. Tell Raheem, get it back, tell the team, get it back. Now we got Buffalo up, that's a fact, that's a fact. But you can tell they fans, it's a rap, it's a rap. Tell Waddle, get it back, tell McDaniel, get it back. Charles and Phillips, get it back. DWA, let's get it back.
We took an L that was whack, but we ain't worried about that. And I was back with Buffalo, Wild Rings and full rap. Josh Allen get him sacked, with blitz face flat. They be hating, but that simply is opinion, not fact. Tyreek Hill from racetrack, Jalen Ramsey like that. We got 6 Pro Bowlers, all of them soldiers. Fins win, but for the Bills it's over. They got us to lose, but they got us confused. One play touchdown, Oz and oohs. Tua too smooth, McDaniel that dude. Jason Sanders kicking from here to the moon. I'm repping my crew, you know what it do. We getting the loot.
We just got our ass whooped, that's a fact, that's a fact. But that's cool, get it back, get it back, get it back. Tell Tua, get it back, tell Cheetah, get it back. Tell Raheem, get it back, tell the team, get it back. Now we got Buffalo up, that's a fact, that's a fact. But you can tell they fans, it's a rap, it's a rap. Tell Waddle, get it back, tell McDaniel, get it back. For Charles and Phillips, get it back. DWA, let's get it back. So low, so low, so low, D. So low, D. Regular season complete. Too legit. Go back.
All right, I love it. I love it. I love that. That rap was fantastic, actually. The whole get it back. I love it, and take the hit and get it back. And although I think he would like the whole Tua get it back, Tyreek get it back, and then Raheem get it back because there's no Raheem. So, but what are you gonna do? You got to record and edit it before we knew that Raheem would be out. But great job by Solo D as always. That's actually one of my favorite raps this year. The beat, the flow, the lyrics are always on point, right? But this week, the beat and the flow with the lyrics went like it was masterful, like he normally is, which good stuff, Solo D. Loved it, man. Loved it. I got something for you because I see it on the chat board. You know, like people like clamoring, like, oh, well, what about Tua? What about Tua? Oh, this is on Tua. Tua's got to step up. Like, I had I have a friend of mine. I'm not going to mention his name, but he's not a very smart, football fan. And so he repeats a lot of stupid shit that is said in the media or things like that, or other fans say, silly stuff. And then he repeats it. And then he starts telling me, well, no, dude, Tua's got to, he's got to go out there. He's got to carry the team. Look at the Bills. They're winning. Carrying by Josh Allen. And I go to him, bro, do you really watch the games? So because I've seen it already here, oh, well, it's all on Tua. Also, well, yeah, it's on everybody. But to think that Tua is the reason why you didn't win last week, you're an idiot, dude. One of the 2 interceptions really was his fault. The second one, I'm going to blame him for following his coach down a stupid path, which I've already talked about this week. Tua has to start thinking for himself a little bit, and at times maybe not do everything his coach wants. Like Russell Wilson at the end of that game, hey, we're going to pass the ball. No, I'm not. I'm going to hand it off to Lynch, and we're going to win this Super Bowl. Certain times you have to, like Marino. Marino did not do everything Shula wanted. Sometimes the play that came in, he was like, F that, dude. I'm not doing that. I need Tua to develop a little bit of F that. That's not the play for right now. I need to do this instead. He needs to do more of that. That's another subject, another day. We'll get into that. But for those of you out there, I get it. We got a bunch of Tua haters out there. And since you were wrong about him, you're dying to like, well, what about Tua and his? So let's talk about the Bills, who have won 4 in a row. Okay? 4 in a row. All right, here we go. Josh Allen, 4 in a row. They beat the New England Patriots 4 in a row now. 15 of 30, 169 yards, no touchdown, 1 interception. He has 11 rushes for 44 yards and 2 touchdowns. Are those great numbers? They beat the Chargers 24-22, 15 of 21, 237, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, 5 rushes, 15 yards, 2 touchdowns. Are those great numbers? They beat the Cowboys 31-10, 7 of 15 for 94 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions, 8 rushes, 24 yards, 1 touchdown. Are those great numbers? They won again against Kansas City, 20-17, 23 of 42, 233, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, 10 rushes, 32 yards, 1 touchdown. So what's Josh Allen doing? Winning the game or not fucking it up? But which one is it? Is he winning the game or is he just managing things? So how's Mahomes doing now without any receivers? How come he's not carrying them? How come they don't have 13 wins like they normally do? I don't know. Please explain to me. Oh, I see. Maybe because the team around him is not that good. Like when he went to the Super Bowl and got his ass kicked. You know, too many of you don't really understand actually football. You don't really get it. That's what happens a lot of times with some of you out there. You really don't understand the game. You know, there's a reason why a lot of us say Marino didn't win a championship because, bro, he didn't have what Montana had or what Troy Aikman had. Never had those kind of defenses. Never had those kind of running games. And he only had half the offensive line. The right side wasn't anything special. It was the left side that was special. He didn't have the Cowboys line. Sorry. He had half a line. If we're going to be honest now, if we're going to call it like we see it, okay? And that's Marino. And that's any quarterback. They don't literally carry you by themselves, okay? They do need other people to make blocks and tackles and make catches and all kinds of stuff. It doesn't help last week that Tua drops 2 beautiful passes to Tyreek and to Claypool, and he drops them. If they catch those, right? And if the coach is not such a knucklehead, okay, hurrying up that play in the first half, there's only 1 interception and you add the 2 touchdowns. And you start looking at it, it's completely different. But you need help. You can't catch the passes too. Didn't Giselle Bundchen say that one year about Tom Brady because they failed and she was like leaving the Super Bowl and said, well, he can't catch passes too. And she got all kinds of heat. Well, that's because it's the truth. So, yes, of course, Tua has to perform tonight. There's no doubt that Tua has to perform tonight. Everybody has to perform tonight. In fact, Tyreek Hill, he put out a tweet. There it is. Everything you got tonight. But Tyreek, my man, I love what you've done here in Miami. You've been electrifying. It's been fun. But you talked it all up when you went to Kansas City. You said you were going to be their nightmare. You talked it all up, and you lost the game all by yourself. Tua made the plays in that game. But, of course, the Tua haters forget that Tua put a perfect pass to Tyreek that was points. And Mahomes made very few plays. There was only a couple of plays to be made, and Tyreek effed it up with the fumble that turned into 7 and the bomb that he put in his hand. By the way, the other one that was slightly behind him, He should have caught that too, but I'm not going to ride Tyreek for that one. I will ride him for the bomb because it was right in his hands. He had to catch that, and those were points right there. It could have led to 3 or 7, which makes a huge difference in that game. Along with the 7 he gave up on the play call, which again you can blame the coach because they're not good at executing it. Nor notice how when they ran that screen, they had him in motion, not standing there waiting. It was one of those motion things real quick. They changed it up after effing it up a couple of times prior to that. It wasn't the same kind of screen that they ran before. Okay, so let's be honest now. But again, part of coaching, again, it goes back to our conversation earlier about McDaniel putting people in positions to be successful. It's not all done by the quarterback. Tua has to step up to that. Yes, he has to play well. But if you're not going to catch the balls, if your coach is going to call for Jeff Wilson to be a receiver downfield in traffic, don't blame that on Tua. If your coach is going to call for a fade to a midget receiver and it doesn't go well, don't blame it on Tua. You're asking him to do the impossible. And if you want to keep forcing it into Tyreek, into double and triple coverage, don't blame Tua on that one. Blame the coach. These habits have got to be broken, and some of them have to be broken by Tua. He has to learn himself, too, to say, you know what, I cannot force this anymore. I have to go somewhere else. And I blame that part on Tua. But players have to contribute to this. Coaches have to contribute to this. That's how you get a win. It's called a team game. And we've watched several games that some of you want to, point at an individual when it was clearly everybody contributed to the damn loss. So, yes, Tua has to step up. But let's not make it sound like, he has to carry the whole team and all that kind of stuff. And that Josh Allen's not carrying the team right now. He's just not screwing it up. He's just managing the game. That's kind of what they did when they changed offensive coordinators. Ken Dorsey could not figure out the fact that he had his quarterback doing things that he can't do. You cannot have Josh Allen sitting back there throwing 35, 40 times. He cannot be consistent enough as a passer to do it. They figured it out. All right, we're going to keep him under 25, around there, and we'll have him use his legs. We'll use the running game because obviously, some of you, I don't know if you knew, but you wanted the wrong Cook. And Cook has had a phenomenal year. So we'll lean more on the running game, the defense, possessing the football. We're not going to do what Josh Allen can't do. He can't sit back there and throw it 35, 40 times because he's going to give it away 3 or 4 times when he does that. So they figured it out. So they brought it, they reeled him in. And that's where you got to credit Joe Brady, I think is the guy's name, right? Former LSU guy. So you give Joe Brady a lot of credit that he figured it out. Like, yo, man, this guy is not the guy. He doesn't have that kind of accuracy that I can have him throwing the ball 35. Will he be able to do it some nights? Yeah, there'll be some days that Josh Allen comes in, but on most, I can't have him doing that. So I just read you his stats. When I showed it to my friend, he was like, oh, I didn't. And I go, yeah, bro, you don't watch the games. You just repeat what some other idiot said. Then he got pissed at me. What am I going to say? I go, bro, water cooler water cooler talk ain't going to fly with me. I told him, I actually follow this shit. You don't. So. All right, let's see what we got here. What's the next super chat? As I know a few came in. Mateo, is that the next one? Let me see. My gut says Finns win big, but can I get a big O hat? Mateo, just for you, because you do a lot of donations anyways. When the hats come out, if they win, you come by Hialeah or Acura or whatever, and we'll give you one. Okay, brother? As many donations as you make, if they win, I gladly will give you one of the new Big O hats that we are in the middle of printing. Brian Diaz, thank you, sir, for the love of the super chat. What does Tua have to do to lead us to victory tonight, and how do we slow down Josh Allen? Hit Josh Allen. You've got to blitz him at times. You got to get him uncomfortable back there, okay? And then Tua has got to play a clean game. And part of that clean game is not forcing stuff. He gets a little too cute, okay, because Tua's got the guts of a thief. He's fearless. One of the things I love about the dude, he's not going to get ever scared about whatever mistake he made. He's going to have the same balls to go right at it again. Now, he's got to fine-tune it. Okay? Too many times this season, he has forced things and it's turned into turnovers. I don't care what the coach calls. If the play has 2 or 3 guys on it, go somewhere else. So Tua has to stay away from the forced turnover. That's what he has to do. No turnovers in this game. He cannot turn over the ball. He's really got to stay clean. I would say the same thing about the coach, that he's got to call a clean game. Tua's got to call a clean game. And obviously, he's going to have to make some throws. But they're going to have to make the catches, too. You know? We can't have drop passes. And especially in key moments. And it cannot be your stars dropping passes. That's why, Tyreek, you put out that tweet. You put a lot of talk into the KC game, and you didn't come through. You better come through tonight, dude. So, yeah, Tua Bryant has to play a super clean game. If he's not going to play a clean game, it's even harder to win this. It makes it even more impossible, basically. Ozzie Fisher, thank you for the love on the super chat. Remember, you can make a donation through Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. You can send your questions, comments, insults there, and you can make a Bitcoin or Ethereum donation. Ozzie Fisher, let's win this game, then have Tootsies give Bills players free drinks all night or all week. All right. Oh, that way they're drunk for next week. I got you. I got it. I like it, Ozzie. Sounds like a plan. True Fin fan, thank you for the love in the super chat. Who has the yards and completion percentage QB? Oh, you talk about like between Allen and Tua. Well, that stuff is not even close. Tua is a much better passer than Josh Allen. Josh Allen is a phenomenal football player, is what he is. But kudos to them. They figured out what he is, and they're playing to his strengths. Excuse me. So you said, shit, then the stars can't drop passes? Yeah, they can't, right? Does it help if Tyreek is dropping touchdowns? Does it help when Waddle's dropping touchdowns? Your stars can't drop passes, bro. That's not going to help, the offense, Tua, at all. So we can't blame Tua when others aren't doing their job, is what I'm saying. If Tua makes bad decisions like last week, you blame him for that. He's got to play a clean game tonight. If they want any shot at this, they've got to play clean. All right, I do want to talk about Tyreek because Tyreek has had one hell of a week. And we talked about this a little bit on the show. Robert, by the way, thank you, sir. Viade, thank you, Robert. Thank you, Brooklyn Rob. sending me in a little Bitcoin donation. Thank you, sir. Says Brooklyn Rob, checking in for a win today. Thank you, Brooklyn Rob. I appreciate you immensely, my brother. Big time. Thank you. You know I love my Bitcoin donations, as always. Thank you, sir. So let's get into a little bit of Tyreek. He's had a hell of a week. I mean, the poor man had to deal with a fire. And listen, we're all kids, and boys especially. We are all intrigued with fire. There isn't a boy that did not play with fire somewhere. Okay? Backyard, park, home, inside, outside, whatever. We do stupid things when we're kids. It's kind of a hell, I'm 57. I'm still doing stupid things. So, you know, kids are kids. It happens. The good thing is he's got the money. Like I said, the worst thing about it all is any memories that were destroyed. That's the worst thing. You replace the home and the roof and everything else and the Xbox or whatever burned, draperies, whatever. You can replace all that bullshit. And luckily for him, he's got the resources for all that. What you can't replace are the memories. So if he lost any trophies or anything else, and I know the fire was kind of limited to only an area there, so hopefully it wasn't, anywhere where his stuff was. But that's really where fires really hurt all of us, that are personal things that we can never replace. That's the stuff, the pictures, the mementos, all that kind of stuff. So I feel for him if he lost any of that stuff, because it sucks. That's the stuff that's important to you, really. But anyway, the man's been dealing with, I don't know what kind of foot injury he has, but it's not good. And he's a tough son of a bitch. Okay, so he's dealing with that. Obviously, now he had off the field stuff, and he's got to now situate his family, all of that. And now he's got the biggest game in Dolphin history in the last 30 years, the most meaningful game, because really in the last 30 years, the Dolphins haven't played any kind of meaningful football. They're kind of working their way to that now, finally. They haven't gotten there. Still got to get over the hump that we've talked about on the show, but at least they're working to it. You know what I mean? Man, it's a lot of pressure on him. A lot of pressure. And I think in hindsight now we realize it, because hindsight is always 20/20. The whole chase for 2,000, it's stupid. The whole force it into Tyreek's hands, stupid. Look at him. He's beaten up and worn down physically, mentally. You put the burden of the offense on him. You force the quarterback to force it into him all the damn time. You can't live like that, man. The coach cannot call games like that. You can't force your quarterback to live like that. And you should not put Tyreek in that position anymore. God bless you. You want to go for 2,000 yards. I appreciate it. But we got to look out for what's best for the Miami Dolphins. And what's best is you spread the hell out of that ball. And by the way, Tyreek and Waddle are phenomenal players, phenomenal athletes, phenomenal receivers. They're also phenomenal decoys. Yeah, they're phenomenal decoys, because they're going to attract so much attention that somebody else has got to be open. And Tom Brady, Joe Montana, Drew Brees, I was tired of watching those sumbitches take the 4 and 5 yard pass and just beat you up with that shit all the time. Half their completions were shorties. And they didn't care, because it kept the drive alive, and it kept them alive for that big play that was coming. And we don't do enough of that. There needs to be more of the 4 and 5 yard pass. There needs to be more of the running game. And they did more of the running game this year. Still have abandoned it at times. Still haven't stuck to it at times when they should. Well, they need to stick to the running, especially tonight. And you need to start spreading the ball around, man. Because there's going to be 2 or 3 people looking at Tyreek. So then the numbers tell you go somewhere else. And right now we have to look at what's developed. Is it positive for the Dolphins to have Tyreek in this kind of physical nature? No, it's not. So last year and this year, no more talk about that stupid 2,000-yard crap. Win games in the playoffs. Pace yourselves, win the games, spread the ball around. Let's get others involved. That way, when you're at the end of a season and Waddle's broken down and Tyreek's at 75%, you don't have any chemistry with everybody else. Because you spent your entire time throwing to two people the entire time. Because you're so enamored with the speed and the big plays and all that stuff. And you needed to develop more chemistry with Craycraft and with Said and with Claypool. And, last year, Gesicki was just standing around with a finger in his ear, and you just didn't bother to try to work him in there. It's bad coaching, dude. It's bad coaching. Just like sending, what's it called? Jeff Wilson out for a pass in traffic. Come on, dude. What kind of shit is that? He's not a great receiver, and now you're going to make him catch a pass in traffic? What kind of stupid shit is this? Let's do things the right way. And one of the things that next year when it rolls around, I don't want to hear this silliness of 2,000 yards. That gets us nowhere, dude. Nowhere. And as you can tell, it's strategically, it's not really smart, actually. There isn't a lot of intelligence behind that, to be quite honest. What else do we have going on? Remember, David Furones is going to join us post-game straight out of the locker room. So we'll have our Welt and Rayom Miami Dolphins post-game report. Let's see. What else do we have? Let me see. What do we got here on the chat board? I just see no way for us to win this game with these injuries. I'm trying to see a way, but I don't. Dizzy, you can't fight logic. And that's what you're trying to fight, Dizzy. But your intelligence is taking over your heart. Because your heart and my heart is saying, come on, Dolphins, pull it out. Come on, find a way, miracles, find a way to get a turnover, whatever, all that. And then your intelligence, Dizzy, is saying, so wait a minute, Mostert didn't practice all week, now ain't playing. That puts more of a load on the Chan, who's been in a boot just recently. Jeff Wilson's all right. They don't use Chris Brooks. There's no Waddle, no X-Man, no Bradley Chubb. Javon Holland, coming back from 2 knee injuries, wasn't himself, and then was listed questionable this week in practice. Rob Hunt will probably look a lot like Javon Holland, who hasn't played for a month, because Rob Hunt hasn't played for a month. And Jerome Baker's coming back. And how can I expect Jerome Baker to be himself when he hasn't played in a month? I understand there are some people in town that think a person can come back after not playing for 5 years. But I'll go with you. It's hard to not even play for 4 weeks for an NFL player that's been playing every week. That was a funny story this week. Okay, so you've got all of that going on, and then all of the injuries. That's why you think this, Dizzy. Your intelligence, your logic is saying, oh my God, how in the hell do they overcome all of this? And the Bills have won 4 in a row, and they freaking love to play Miami. Josh Allen has not played great in this winning streak. He's just been serviceable. he's screwed up, but not screwed up enough, put it that way, because he has as many interceptions as touchdowns pretty much in the last 4 weeks. That's what people don't know. You know what I'm saying? It's funny. It's hilarious. But against Miami, he becomes Joe Elway. Half Montana, half Elway. Can't explain it, but that's what happens. That's what's happening to you, Dizzy. The track record, the reality of what's going on now, you know, I get it. I absolutely get it. It's tough, man. It's tough to feel, you know, super confident in tonight's game. I pray I'm going to be sitting there going, come on, guys, give me a miracle performance. Give me something that I can remember for the rest of my life that means something. The Miami Miracle meant nothing. That stupid game against Baltimore that, you know, you avoided the winless season, whatever, bro. 1-15, 0, I don't give a shit. This is the division. This is a start, at least, where you can send a message to these assholes that you're starting to take over this damn division. You're lucky, you know, if you win tonight, you can like turn around and say, you guys are lucky that our goofball coach didn't know what down it was last year, or we would have won last year with Skyler. And we're all injury riddled now. We'll beat your ass now. You know, we need one of those kind of performances where Ogba plays like I need a new contract from somebody else. Where Andrew Van Ginkel says, hey, you know, your 2 other pass rushers are out. Here's 2 more sacks for you. Pay me. Where Christian Wilkins finally, you know, he's in Josh Allen's head. Well, why don't you sit on it today? I need that kind of performance. That's what I need. I need to see Stephon Diggs crying like a little bitch on the sidelines because Jalen Ramsey has got his ass going crazy. That's what I want to see tonight. Will I? You know. What can I tell you? But I need it. You need it. Young Dolphin fans need it. Yes, sir, Sean Stanley.
Don't know if it means anything, but Adam Beasley said Deshaun Elliott just went into the locker room with a member of the team's medical staff while the rest of the Dolphins are going through warm-ups. So just keeping you up to date with things that are going on.
And the hits just keep on coming. Dizzy, that's just one more for you, brother. That's just one more for you right there, Dizzy. One more for the intelligent side. Because the fanatical side of us has no intelligence. The fanatical side, you're just blinded by, you know, the love for your team. It's messed up, man. The best thing that could happen in the game is ends in a tie that makes the Dolphins division winners. And they would see, but nice guy. I got to tell you, bro, and I appreciate you watching and supporting us, but that's weak shit, dude. You know, I don't want the easy way out. That means you're convinced your team isn't, you know, I want the hardest way out. And so I want you to beat Buffalo. I need you to start beating these assholes often, you know? And it's not about wishing the easiest way and the easiest path and all that kind of stuff. I can't do that, man. I need to know I got a great coach. I know I have a great offensive mind. I don't know if I have a great coach yet. You know, and these are the moments. This is how I find out if this guy's the guy. I need to see this, and I need to see this often. Let's see. Tua was on the injury report. His confidence. Nah, that's his confidence was hurt last week. Oh, there you go. Okay. Oh. My name is Todd. I live in a tree. Let's see. Marino never had this kind of luck with injuries. It was usually, Marino never had a team, bro. Nothing like Marino never had anything like this. Not even close, bro. Rosendo, I'm going to be hopeful, but I have no faith. I have no faith in this team right now. The way they're so injured, and I specifically have no faith right now in Mike McDaniel. Mike McDaniel needs to show me a few of these kind of games where he can win them. Not just tonight. I need to see a few of these kind of games to see if he's really the guy. So I'm past all that, you know. I'm past that fan bullshit, keep faith and all that kind of. I need to see reality. I need to see the real production by Mike McDaniel, and I'm not seeing it in these kind of moments. And tonight, I better not see him fumbling and bumbling and screwing up again. I better see the sharpest game he has ever called in his life tonight. I don't want to see plays late. I don't want to see pre-snap penalties. I don't want to see losing challenges. I don't want to see putting players in a position to fail like he's constantly doing. I need to see him become a much better in-game manager. I know he can draw plays for fast players. I know he can do that. I need more than that. So I don't have faith right now because McDaniel has not shown me enough in these kind of games. So I love his offensive mind. I need to see more on game day so I know that I have the guy. You know, it's like Spo. It's what I told you guys during the week. And you watched the show all week, Rosendo. I said it during the week. At any point, no matter who Spo has on the court, listen to me now. It doesn't matter who's on the court. And it doesn't matter who they're playing. Tell me you don't think they got a shot. Leave the fan bullshit out. Okay? Leave the fan bullshit out. Be dizzy. Be logical. Be objective. With Eric Spoelstra, you always, Jim Larinaga, you always have a chance. Always. Doesn't matter who's missing. You're like, dude, this guy's missing and this guy's missing. Wow, it's going to be tough tonight. And then at the end of the game, they won. And you're like, holy shit, dude. This guy can coach his ass off. Right? I need to see that I've never seen that with McDaniel. He had his moment last year against Buffalo. He had his moment. That was his Eric Spoelstra moment. And when push came to shove, the man had no idea what goddamn down it was. Bubba, you can't do that. You can't do that. And by the way, you can't, when you're gouging the Buffalo Bills for 7 yards a carry, you keep running. Come on, son. Let's go. This is where intelligence and game management completely get lost. You're like, well, wait a minute. I thought he was smart. They were averaging 7 yards a carry. Why didn't he keep running against Buffalo? Well, I can't answer that. Oh, okay. So when you tell me keep the faith, I need McDaniel to instill it in me. I need him to win these kind of games tonight. Often. It's not just tonight. I need more of these over the next year or two. If I don't see them, I am going to tell you in the next year or two, he's not the guy. That's what I'm going to tell you. I'm going to say, hey, great play designer, but this guy can't manage a game. So in the next year or two, like I told you, we've hit a fork in the road with the man. We kind of know who he is now. Now we know the warts, and those warts need to disappear. So what was that wart thing? That was those drops. I forgot the famous one that was used back in the day. Hell, I think they even had commercials for it back in the day. So we need to find that. So that's where I can tell you that when you tell me keep the faith, I don't have it right now anymore, unfortunately. I've picked the Dolphins every week. It's the only week I'm not picking them. It's the week where I'm picking the Bills to win this game, unfortunately, because I just do not believe that Mike McDaniel is ready for these kind of games. Plus, they're so injured. I don't think he's that special of a coach that he can overcome this and coach them up and use other players and figure out a way to win games. I haven't seen that from him. So that's my problem. Unfortunately, I have to wait till Mike McDaniel proves to me that he can win these kind of games on a consistent basis. You know, not lose them on a consistent basis. George says, Big O, so true. Marino never had a team that was nearly as talented as those early 90s Bills teams. Even if we beat them in the AFC Championship, we would have gotten trounced by the Cowboys in the Super Bowl. Oh, yeah. But we weren't going to beat those Bills teams. They were way better than our teams, bro. Those Bills teams are some of the best teams I have ever seen in my life. Those Bills teams are better than most of the teams that have won the Super Bowls. Hate to say it, but it's the truth. I can pick a lot of teams that won the Super Bowl, and that Bills team is better. They just didn't get it. Well, they should have won one of them. I mean, the kicker basically missed, So, Jose says, Big O, I'm worried. Yes. We're a lot of us are worried, man. A lot of us are going to watch this game like this. Let's be honest. I better not have walked into the office miserable tomorrow morning. I hope not, Christian. I hope you go in super happy, my brother. I would like a Dolphins, Dr. Scholes. Thank you, bro. Here's Dr. Scholes. I'd love it because I know I'm going to have a beautiful week this week outside of the Dolphins because the Bitcoin ETFs are going to be, and crypto is going to explode. And I mean, this is going to be a lot of fun. And I got the halving coming up in just less than 100 days, in about 90. So I'm on cloud 9 with what's going to happen here in 2024. What I need is my Dolphins to kind of catch up. Mostert fumbled twice versus Buffalo. Remember, we had the ball and gave them 10 points before halftime. Then Tua threw a pick in the second half that blew it open. Let's keep it a buck. Yeah, you can't make mistakes. Tua has to be clean today. Clean. No stupid interceptions. None. Big O, you are correct about McDaniel, and Tua needs to use his instincts a lot more during the game. The Finns, like you said, in particular, McDaniel paying attention to stat success instead of wins. Exactly. Well, we all got on the 2,000-yard bandwagon, okay? I said I don't think he would make it because I thought they would run the ball more. And actually, I am going to be right and wrong. I'll be right that he doesn't get the 2,000 yards, but it's really more for injuries, not because they ran the ball, and they still ran the ball. So I thought they would run the ball a lot more, which they did, which would not give him the opportunity. But really, it's the injuries that stopped him from getting the 2,000 yards, if we're going to be honest about it. Let's see. Cam Wake is at the game on the sidelines. That's awesome. He's such a good dude, man. Rosendo, I hear you. Big O, faith and trust is what keeps me going. Yeah, that's for a lot of things, not for the Dolphins. Big O, I might have some chronic that McD could vape. It might help with his decisions. John Green, thank you for the love on the super chat, sir. Compound W. There you go. Compound W. There you go. That's it. That was the stuff. You know, my dad once, I think I told this story. I had 5 warts in my hand. I had one right here in the center of my hand, my right hand. In fact, if you look closely, like, I don't know if you can still see the dent here. But anyway, so I tore it off physically like twice and it grew back. Then I went to a doctor. They froze it, ripped it out. It grew back. And when it grew back, 4 more grew on my hand. So I was like walking around with my hand wondering, like, I didn't want to touch stuff. I didn't want to shake hands with anybody with the right hand or anything because I was afraid I'd give them warts. And it's ugly. You had 5 of them on your hands, bro. That's gross. So my dad takes me to his friend who had a car dealership on 27th Avenue and Northwest 7th Street. There's a gas station there. Next to that gas station, there's an auto dealership. It's still there. They don't own it anymore because he passed away. But when they owned it, so he takes me there, right? The dude goes to the backyard, grabs a branch. True story, okay? True story. May lightning strike me right now. Dude got a branch, got a knife, cut 5 holes in the branch. Then he got each hole of the branch, he put it on each wart. Hole number 1, wart number 1, hole number 2, wart number 2, hole number 3, wart number 3. Then the dude made a prayer. And he goes to me, no problem. Go on your merry way. They'll disappear within a few weeks. Son of a bitch. Completely disappeared, never came back. You explain that shit. You go ahead and explain that one. That's the stuff that you can't explain. I mean, I ripped it, I froze it. Bitch came back. This guy comes, picks a branch off a tree, puts a prayer, buries the branch, and my shit is gone. Like, what? I mean, freaky. Freaky. That's some stuff right there. Drink a beer, have no fear. I'm hopeful, but realize how injuries have taken a toll. By the way, drinking a beer, I just want you to know, because I went to Top Gun indoor range the other night with the wife, and then we went to Odyssey Arcade right off 120th and the Turnpike, right where Top Gun is at, which, by the way, we're having a shooting contest at the end of the month there. Prizes and giveaways, so make sure you join us January 31st on Wednesday at 7 o'clock, Top Gun. Anyway, we went to Odyssey. They have IPAs and beers and all kinds of stuff and all kinds of, classic games. We go play the classic games. They got new games, all that. They have the Iron Maiden Trooper beer. So now you mentioned beer. Just want you to know, they've got the Iron Maiden Trooper beer at Odyssey Arcade in Kendall. How freaking cool is that? Just playing a little track and field, a little burger time, a little Defender, a little Pac-Man, Galaga. My wife loves Galaga. She's really good at it. And you can have your Trooper beer at the same time. That is awesome, dude. Can't beat that shit. Love that. Let's see. Big O, do we play Buffalo again next week if we win? Yes, we do. Yes, we do, sir. Everyone on NBC picked the Bills except Dungy. I mean, it makes sense. Santeria, bro, it works. Brother, whatever he used, black magic, Santeria, I don't know what he did, bro. He didn't have, he wasn't a Santero. He wasn't like all white. Excuse me. He wasn't all white with beads, and he didn't have any of that. Just regular, clean-cut dude. So he really didn't have all kinds of, no religious stuff on him. I think he might have had like a gold chain on him or something. It was the 80s. But that's about it. But he wasn't a Santero that we like, for us Latin people. None of that. No. He wasn't the dude that was all white hat, white shoes, walking around and everything white. All no. He didn't have like the 400 beads over him of different none of that, dude. He just said a prayer and he told me, I'm going to bury this. You go ahead. Don't worry about it. It'll be gone. And it disappeared. Blew me away, dude. Like, I was laughing at my dad. Like, really, dude, you made me do this. Like, come on. There's no way. He goes, you'll see. And sure enough, it was gone. Oh, man, that was so awesome. So awesome. Big O, should we put a spy on Allen tonight? Well, I mean, they should have what's it called? Ramsey follow Diggs the entire time. Yes. That should be going on tonight. The placebo effect. Oh, I don't know what it was, brother. How old was I? 15? I want to say 14, 15, something like that. So we're talking 1980, 81. Okay. Somewhere in that area. And it was, dude, 5 warts on your hand. Gross, dude. Totally gross. Absolutely gross. Big O, I'm buying a log to get rid of our misery. All right, folks. Post game, we start the second the clock ends, and hopefully we will be, I hope you guys are ripping me and telling me you had no faith. You're an idiot. They won. They proved you wrong, oh. I hope that happens. I pray for that to happen because I don't want any more pain for our Dolphin Nation. All right, folks. We'll catch you on the post-game show with Sean Stanley. And, of course, David Furones fresh out of the locker rooms. We'll catch you post-game. Dolphins and Bills, same time, same place, same bat channel.
This has been the EJDConstruction.com Miami Dolphins pregame show on the Sports Talk 305 network. The show is mastered by Sean Stanley and Chad Show. From home to kitchen to bathroom additions and remodelings, get in contact with one of the best contractors in the business. Call Eric at EJDConstruction.com, 305-433-4843. Please subscribe to our platform by searching Big O Radio Show on all digital avenues. We'll be back with a complete wrap-up of the game once the last second ticks off the clock. Thank you for your support and enjoy Dolphins football.